Hi, this is Patrick Conroy, and this is Chapter 1, Regulation of the Legal Profession. I've broken this presentation into two parts, so we'll do the first part right now. Learning objectives. Introduce the promise of this course. Explain legal ethics as a distinct set of laws. Differentiate the rules of ethics from personal morality. And compare and contrast the rules of ethics that apply to lawyers and those that apply to paralegals. At the end of the course, you'll be able to recognize an ethical issue when it appears, categorize the ethical issue, give it a name, use the category to perform legal research to understand the issue better and find possible solutions. Ethical issues often go unnoticed until actual harm has occurred. Then they turn into ethical problems and sometimes ethical nightmares. Therefore, recognizing an ethical issue as soon as it arises is crucial. So you want to recognize it before it turns into a problem or before it's even left the office. At the end of this course, you'll be able to tag the issue. Example, this is a conflict of interest issue, or this is a work product issue. And the categories may also be tagged in terms of a duty. Example, duty of loyalty issue. In law, there's really just too much to know at all. Therefore, you need to gain the tools you need to research the law as those issues come up. So a lot of times it's about recognizing an issue even if you don't know the resolution. Because if you know the issue, you can research it. And research tools for ethics in your state are introduced throughout the text. Some terms we need. Legal ethics is the same as professional responsibility. They're interchangeable. Lawyer, same as attorney. May also be called sometimes a member of the bar. JD, Juris Doctorate, Latin for the degree granted by law schools. Esquire, Latin for esquire. ESQ, Latin for esquire. I could use JD and Esq, after my name, but I choose just to use the JD since I'm in academia, and they're really into doctorates here. Bar examination. A test given for admission to the bar. Big, several-day test that people who want to be lawyers have to pass. The State Bar Association. Many states have bar associations that regulate the lawyers in that state, including Louisiana. We have the Louisiana Bar Association. Integrated bar means a lawyer must belong to the State Bar Association in order to practice law. For instance, someone's a member of the bar in Louisiana, they might have to get someone else to handle a client who's in Mississippi and is under Mississippi law. Non-integrated bar means that some other organization regulates lawyers in the state. So in Louisiana, we have an integrated bar. Good moral character. Yes, that is a requirement. Honesty, integrity, fairness, and trustworthiness. Now, the American Bar Association is voluntary, and it has many committees on all areas of the law, and has created models for sample rules of ethics, usually called the ABA. So you'll see, these are sort of like recommendations to states to adopt. Words that identify people in a law firm. Partner. This is someone who will share in the profits that the law firm makes. Member. Just someone who works there. Same with associate. Law clerk, often those are law students. Summer clerk, often law students. Paralegal, you. Sometimes just grouped with legal assistant. Legal secretary is somebody a little bit different. And just plain clerk is really just office staff. Okay, how does one get to be a lawyer? Well, they go to a 4-year college, an accredited 4-year college, get a bachelor's, and it doesn't really matter what the bachelor's is in. Some people do the pre-law, some people do business, others are in liberal arts. Doesn't matter. Then there is, so after you get that, then you sort of take a test called the LSATs, and then you apply to 3-year law schools. After you get that degree, that's a Juris Doctor. And then you pass a bar examination and pass the good moral character check. Good moral character check usually involves being upfront with any legal issues that have come up in the past in your life. They're not really so much interested in punishing you. It's that they want you to be upfront with them if there are any legal issues in your past. And then once you explain it, you say how you performed, whatever. Now, there are murderers who've gone on to pass the bar and become lawyers. It's really more about how you've handled it and your openness about it. If you lie about it, that means you don't have good moral character. And be a member of the bar. Louisiana, you do. Some states you don't. It's up to you. In general, the rules of ethics are fairly concrete. They're written, they're statutory, they're rules, and then the courts and states and federal jurisdictions have been adopted, and they're explained by different case law and clarified by opinions. These are really more the rule of ethics for an attorney. We get to paralegals in a minute. Rules of ethics include how one becomes a lawyer. It's different in different states. Rules setting forth the minimum standard of permitted behavior. Rules requiring lawyers to do or not do certain things. Rules regulating disciplining lawyers. They're sort of scattered around. You might see them in the evidence code, the probate, because they're going to be ethical rules for evidence, ethical rules for probate, different state courts, federal courts, case rules, ethics opinions. So they're not found in one place, they're going to be scattered. And they are not the same as morals. Someone can be very, not so moral in their life, but they could be following the necessary ethics. Where do lawyers' ethics rules come from? They started appearing around 1900-ish. ABA wrote a sample and states used them to write their own laws. In 1960, the ABA wrote a new Model Code of Professional Responsibility, used by a model for 49 states, including Louisiana. Then it wrote a new model in 1980. The latest revision was done in 2009. We'll be going through this, whole semester. How does it work? Well, the ABA ethics experts get an idea for a new rule and create a sample or model. So the people who are ethics experts, they probably, maybe at one time worked for the state ethics committee, or, cities often have them. They might have taught legal ethics. They have a real background in ethics, which is, in particular, things like conflict of interest, confidentiality, loyalty. So they come up with a model, and then the state legislature, Supreme Court or State Bar likes the new law and adopts it. Sometimes they adopt part of it, sometimes the whole thing, sometimes none of it. So it has no force of law, it's just a model. It's only when the states adopt it or adopt part of it that becomes the law. Okay, let's take a break and I'll come back with part 2.